that's a step into the New World. We are going to create a treaty to bring the war to an end. This will be the Treaty of Guadalupe, Hidalgo. What this treaty states is, Mexico, we need to be certain we have an official boundary. No more disputed land within Texas. We're going to make an agreement that after this war is over, the Rio Grande will be the official boundary between the United States and Mexico. Now, this does return this gigantic chunk of territory the U.S. was well within their rights to take as a new state. But instead, we have to make things nice and legal. We are going to acquire what will eventually be the southwestern states. When the war comes to an end, we are going to acquire the most northern parts of what was Mexico. We are going to eventually get these handful of states. We are going to get California, Mexico, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, parts of Wyoming, and parts of Colorado. The southern chunk of Colorado is won from the Mexican-American War. This is the deal we make. Now remember, Mexico had always kind of had problems populating the northern part of their empire. This was not necessarily a disaster for Mexico because they get something else out of it. We want to be certain that everything is nice and legal, so we buy this territory. We give Mexico $10 million for what will eventually be the southwestern states. Now, like I said, this treaty kind of has 1 foot in the old world and 1 foot in the new world. But it will give us what's eventually our most populated states. California will come into the Union, and just a few months after the Mexican-American War, California is found to be very, very valuable. You know what's going to be discovered in California? Gold. Now, we're going to talk more about what that means a little bit later going forward. But you have to understand, before the Civil War, this gigantic chunk of territory does pose a problem. If we bring in these states to the Union, most likely they would be southern states. They would be slave states. So if we're going to bring them into the Union, what else has to happen? We got to bring in a free state for every slave state that's brought into the Union. Which means this gigantic chunk of territory, most of it is going to be told, you're not a state yet. You have to wait. Colorado is going to have to wait to become a state for another 30 years. Be patient. I have good news for you. Now you can put your notebook for it. However,